right, good morning. The microphone is on. I've got my cup of coffee and we are ready to roll. Good morning, YouTube. It is Monday, March 11th. I'm JB and welcome to another edition of What's On Today with Discovery Bay. All right, let's start with a recap of a couple of videos from yesterday. There are links to these channels in the description below. First on the recap, over at Simpleman's Comics, Brian released a video titled Weekly Picks for New Comic Books Releasing March 13th, 2019. Now, if you're not familiar with Brian at Simpleman's Comics, this video is a great introduction. Brian brings us his choices, not every single book, just his picks, and they're assorted by publisher in a really well-paced and edited video with great graphics. Brian gives you a quick synopsis of each pick that's really cool to listen to. All right, so next up, we have the third edition of a new weekly series from Spidey Fan titled What the FOC? Correct. So this one is top comic book variants and additional printings releasing April 3rd, 2019. In this episode of the series, Spidey Fan talks about books that will be FOC'd, final order cutoff, on March 11th, 2019 for books that hit the shelf April 3rd, 2019. Now remember, Spidey's approaching this series not from the speculator point of view, but as a collector that wants to be informed and ready to order but not be overcharged when the books hit the aftermarket. Great job, Spidey. Okay, the last item on the recap comes from Tony Hammock channel with a video titled New Comic Spec Review video for March 2019, sorry. Tony from comicsheatingup.net talks about hot new comic books releasing this week. Now, unlike the prior one, he's definitely talking about Spec. Alright, now on to today's lineup. All of these items are both in Pacific Standard Time and Eastern Standard Time, and all the channel links with timestamps are in the description below. So, first up at 1 a.m. Pacific, 4 a.m. Eastern, Joe Ryan Comics brings us the next installment in his series titled Covers of the Week, March 13th, 2019. My top regular and variant covers for New Comic Book Day. Man, that's one heck of a title you got there, Joe. We're gonna go over there and check that out. At 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern, Billy at Economics and Comics will be giving us the next installment in his series titled Hot Covers Only. This one is for comic books releasing 3/13/19. Looks like I got my Bueller sticker. At 6 a.m. Pacific, 9 a.m. Eastern, head over to the Real Comic Stacks for a video titled Monday Morning Marvel number 4. This is a really fun series. We get a really small 3 to 4 minute Marvel movie clip. It's a great way to start your Monday because some of the stuff he's picking are like just the best clips of the Marvel movies. And what are we getting today? I don't know, man. You're going to have to go tune in and find out. All right. At 7:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Comics with Bueller starts our week out right with comics, coffee, and comments. Bueller shares a few hunting finds from the weekend, some comments from his fans, and I don't miss this series. No better way to start your Monday morning than with Bueller and a cup of coffee. All right, next up at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Whosoever watches this channel, if he or she be worthy, shall acquire the knowledge from the Comic Chief.
The Comic Chief brings us Monday Mailday, but this time from the mall. That's going to be interesting. All right, next up at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, we have another live show, this time over at BUB'S Comics. Come join the fun in the No Faces Comic Chat, hosted by the trio of BUB'S Comics, DS Comics, and Metarog. And this chat is approved for all ages. All right, next up at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we get another live stream, this time from the team at NCBD, which stands for Marvelous Collectibles and Entertainment. They have a weekly stream called The Geek Show. head on over, stop in the chat, hit the like button, and say hello. Alright. At 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, head over to JP's Budget Collecting for a live stream with Jason titled Collecting Smart, Episode 6, I Got the Fever. Remember that one from the Boy Who Had 7 with Sasquatch 210? Got the fever? Alright, Jason discusses I Got the Fever and the only cure is more comics. This will be good. Stop by the chat and join the discussion. Alright. Also at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, we have another live stream. CBSI presents Tales from the Flip Side, episode number 51, Option Comics. So, the team at CBSI will be discussing the good and bad of comic books getting optioned for television and movies. This will be good. Stop in the chat to join the discussion and leave a thumbs up. They killed it last week, by the way. Alright, next up, at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, over at Home of the New York Warriors channel, we get a live show titled Chillin with the New York Warriors. Come hang with the gang as they discuss all things comics with special guest Thorough Cubero. Now, if you have not met Jose, aka Thorough Cubero, this is going to be a great opportunity. This panel is second to none, and this show is always a good time. Alright, the final item on the lineup starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, over at Comic War. We get a scheduled live show titled, I think it's going to be called maybe Comic War Special Auction? I'm not sure what it's going to be titled because I don't have that information. This is a special auction. They did it on Friday and I was in it. Now, today they got a different set of sellers, and this is who we got. We've got the Comic Spectre, who's bringing us some variant fire. Drew Manchu, who clearly has an endless supply of comics to sell. JD, who I recently got an amazing Del Auto variant lot from. And Who Dat Comics and Movies, who really nothing has to be said because his reputation of bringing fire to auctions is already legendary. So, man, you know that Who Dat auctioned off a signed Stan Lee in the last auction he was in? Yeah, I know because I bid on it and did not win. Alright, anyway, it's going to be a blast and you don't want to miss it. Well, that's it for today's show. I really appreciate you taking the time Monday morning to watch me. If you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. I had a massive unboxing. Look, the wall is gone, and I'll leave a link to that video because you definitely want to check that out. I had some really good stuff in there. I missed yesterday's update just because the day got away from me, so I apologize. But today, around 3 o'clock, I'll leave an update with any ads and or changes. And that's it, man. I hope that everybody has a great day. I know it's Monday, but you know what? The week's going to blow by, and we're going to be back to the weekend in no time at all. So, hit me up on Facebook. Like, comment, share, thumbs up for this one, thumbs down if you didn't like it, and don't forget, we had a good time.